Good Saturday morning and happy Bloomsday to everyone. Today I'm going to do an extended broadcast of Jinka Jabo to celebrate 1 year that I've been on YouTube. And I have a montage sort of coming up. I got some video of me juggling in Dong Hoi, and so I'm going to narrate a little bit of just some screenshots of the channel. But the important news item, and what I wanted to get into, which has been really just amazing to watch over the last few days, and which has been kind of a Bloomsday miracle in itself, has been the situation in North Korea, which keeps getting better and better. And I've made a few videos about it, and as you know, I'm very passionate about what happens there, and I've become more and more convinced that I'm going to move there. I'm going to set up shop somewhere near Pyongyang once they open those nice condos that Trump has promised. But anyway, we'll get to that, and we'll talk about James Joyce and the meaning of Bloomsday next here today on Jinka Jabo. So everyone, I've started packing. I need to start packing, but I need to get some winter clothes. I need to get some winter hats, some scarves, a big jacket, because I am moving to North Korea. Maybe in 3 years, 5 years, maybe a few months. But I'm going to go there and I'm going to teach English. That's my goal, because I know it's going to open up, because the impossible, the Kim possible has happened, as one newspaper outlet put it, and that has been the first meeting of a sitting U.S. president with a leader of North Korea. And that happened in Singapore, and the liberal heads exploded, and me and my more kafefe, more MAGA friends were celebrating. It was amazing. There were so many good memes. And and just simply Trump being Trump, liberals were very angry at the whole thing, and telling me that I was being too optimistic or whatever. But no, maybe it has been optimism from the very beginning, but this is what's leading us down this path, and that's what's making changes. And I see little Kim. You see Donald Trump holding his face like a little turkey. and Kim is just giving him Pence eyes, just like adoring Trump, just looking at him, this sense of, it was idolatry almost, just looking at Trump like, this is the guy who's going to bring me into civilization. And Trump was kind to show up, and he saluted the general, which everyone got mad about. But of course, high-ranking officials do salute one another. And then Trump is, of course, a military figure, being the chief, you know, commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And of course, this is the same liberal media that didn't care when Obama did the very un-American, disgustingly un-American act of bowing to kings, bowing to the Saudi king, I think, and the Emperor of Japan. I think he bowed to the Emperor of Japan, which is just simply un-American, simply not something that should be done. But among military officials, high-ranking military officials, of course, there is salute, and it's a sign of respect. And that's how things work in East Asia. It's not the same as doing politics in the UK or something. We look at human interactions, the smallest things. Living here for a long time in the Far East, you take it for granted, but when I pause to think about it, you realize how many human interactions are just different, and how out of place I feel and look sometimes when I go back to the States. Trump also had a great burn for Kim, which I thought was simply hilarious, and I didn't feel bad about it at all. And but anyway, they're standing in a conference room, Trump and Kim, and Trump says, "Well, let's get a good picture of everyone so we look nice and handsome and thin." And of course, you look over at Kim. Kim Jong-un has really gained a bit of weight in recent times, and he's got this big puffy neck, and he understands English, and so he's standing there. He got what was said, and he's just this look of disgust. But I don't feel bad about that at all, and I think it's great that Trump is still taking digs at him, and that Trump is carrying him around like a little baby, because Kim is my age, I think. I think he's 34, and which is a baby in politics terms. Half the age of Trump when you think of it. And seeing him just gushing and just opening up, it was really hilarious. And I think it's great that Trump is still taking jabs at him. Because let's not forget that only a year ago, Otto Warmbier came back to us after being brutally sentenced to 15 years of hard labor in a North Korean camp for allegedly taking a poster. And shortly after he came back to us, he died. And I remember at that time, I still hadn't been ferreted out yet, but I was part of Kim Jong-un's tank meme stash. And it was this whole different approach to what was happening in North Korea. There was this whole different ironic on some level, but serious on some level, in the same way of flat earth support of the Juche idea, which I found absolutely disgusting. I would not have believed then, if you had told me a year from that point, America would be, or Trump would be meeting with Kim. It's quite remarkable. And as far as the insults go, and as far as people saying, oh, he shouldn't be making these insults, he shouldn't be cracking these jokes, no, it's a sign of dominance, and as one reporter put it, paternal. I could definitely see the paternal element. And Trump being Trump, he's free to say those things, and that's a sign of power and a good expression, in the same way that he knows not to cross the line as far as he has to salute a general. I mean, that's how things work out in East Asia. It's how the cultures are different. It's how business is different. And Trump has been working and selling things out here for so long that he understands that, unlike many politicians. So anyway, good news all around. And North Korea has signed up that they will denuclearize. They've collapsed their site. Maybe their site was... maybe the site was taken down on purpose, or maybe they collapsed it. Or maybe it was an accident that led to its collapse. But anyway, their nuclear test site is down. They've stopped the propaganda broadcasts. I mean, how much more evidence do you need? It's been silly all along this whole red-pilled path, all along doing this channel and making this commentary. How often I've had to stick up for Trump, but it turns out, in the end, he's right about this. And soon, there will be travel and commerce and the opening up of the North, and the people will be brought out into the modern world, and there will be love and kindness. And Kim, for his role, it turns out that I think he'll get away with his family's crimes, including many of his own. Just some terrible things that he's done. But according to Dennis Rodman, of course we're talking about Dennis Rodman still, 2018, Kim tried to get help from Obama and was flatly turned down. And so this is the alternative. This is what could be happening. This is Korea that isn't testing nuclear weapons. This is Korea that isn't having skirmishes with the South on the sea, like during Obama's presidency. When I lived in South Korea, I remember a lot of fighting going on and terrorism going on as well, back in the Kim Jong-il days. So things are turning around, and they released that film, and now they're saying, oh, it's like a North Korea propaganda film where they have this cinematic production where it shows what could the future be. It reminds me of like a Scientology ad, the video that he showed Kim, where it shows him hailed by his people, celebrated as a great liberator. It, of course, and people are critical of it, we're not talking about the starvation, we're not talking about the concentration camps and the gulags, but maybe a little bit of forgiveness will help liberate the entire nation, and that's what I think is going to happen. And I'm so happy to be making plans, serious, legit plans, to move to North Korea, where I hope everyone will soon be free, and of course, may your path in life be free.